life you've been searching. And the elders, they've been holding you back.
The girl is a curse. She came from nowhere. She is no one.
When they told me to raise you, I didn't ask questions.
Why am I an outcast? Who was my mother?
Always you pushed for answers. Pushed yourself to the edge. Here in the valley, we may be outcasts, but it's safe. Out there, girl, you'll be lost. You won't know where to turn or who to trust. You'll be chasing a riddle into a wilderness of mysteries. The world of the old ones. What secrets lie buried beneath their crumbling ruins? Why Earth is ours no more. These questions, Aloy, the tribe has forbidden. What if the answers are worse than not knowing?
You can help, or you can get out of my way.
Then be ready for the darkness. And be careful what you bring to light. Even if you do catch what you're after, how do you know it won't bite back?
Outcast! You came from nothing. You will die a nothing.
I came from somewhere.
Identity confirmed.
Even if it destroys me, I will see this through.
And here we are playing Horizon Zero Dawn. We've got the whole gang here. Mr. Zach Miner, one Justin Massenkill, and Ryan Clements.
I said.
I'm going to take a guess that this is my footage. This looks like me playing Horizon Zero Dawn here.
This is indeed, and we are not actively playing this, we should say. We got a chance, you and I both did, Sid, to play quite a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn at a recent preview event. So we thought we would take a extended look at some different clips that both of us captured.
Now Ryan and I are just going to judge all of this footage because neither of us played.
That's right. Now this is also me. You can notice it's me sometimes because I kind of do the beauty shots. I kind of spin the camera around. I try to just make the game look its best, which is actually quite easy because it is a gorgeous looking game.
It really is. So here, this is kind of early in the game, so there's not going to be a ton of spoilers. But I believe, Sid, you were just kind of running around and stumbled across this guy who was kind of yelling at you to come over and offering up a little side quest here.
It's true. Yeah, I heard somebody shouting for help, and being the good Samaritan that I am and the quality citizen that I am, I wandered over.
What a nice man you are.
And I want to point out, Horizon Zero Dawn, I mean, this is from Guerrilla Games, the guys that brought us Killzone over the years, and this is something different. It's an open world RPG, strong action emphasis. But one of the things that was so interesting playing it is, as you can see, these dialogue choices.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a proper RPG. It's
Right.
a proper open world game with quests and items and crafting. We're going to be taking a closer look at all that here. But so in this quest, well, that quest is done now.
No, this is it.
Okay.
In the interest of time, we've
jumped
ahead.
That's totally fair. So I was he asked me to find his daughter who was trapped. So a fearsome fight.
Is that his daughter?
That's not his daughter.
Something has gone horribly wrong with his daughter.
So these are Watchers, and they just kind of did like a sort of a glare attack there that kind of.
Oh, so the Watchers did that.
The Watchers did that. Now I wanted to show off kind of an array of different attacks here. The melee in this game is actually fun. It's not something they've shown a ton of. It's not going to be mistaken for God of War, but it's very crunchy, very satisfying feel, as you can see there. I just kind of walloped those guys.
That's the first time I've seen Aloy just like go for it with melee style combat. That's great.
She is
or
a
Aloy.
Badass.
Aloy.
Yeah.
Aloy.
Thank you.
Also, what was surprising to me, so you can see that you can kind of craft items here kind of mid-battle.
Real-time crafting.
Yeah, exactly. So if you need some new arrows or something like
Bam!
that.
Look at that. Oh,
Headshot.
that feels so
Is that a
good.
critical
Right through the lens.
spot? If you hit him in their
Yes.
glowing eyeball, is that a crit?
I want to point out that every time that I drilled an arrow right down the eyeball of a watcher, a chill went right up my spine. The game feels so good. It's got a really tight feel. The mechanics are really robust. This blast bomb thing, we'll get some footage with that, I think, a little later. This is the rope caster.
Oh, okay.
And this is the one you can use this to immobilize enemies. You know, I was trying to.
You're like,
He's thrashing around there.
Oh, here's the bomb. There we go.
Ba-boom. Do it again.
Oh, careful.
oh,
You're a little
careful,
close.
Sid. Careful.
Hey, look, this thing's ornery. Look at that.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Get 'em.
There we go. Well done.
And there's different types of bombs that you can arm into that thing. Oh, here we go. Here's the object of our quest.
Was she just like hanging out watching you kill those?
She was
things?
up in the tree.
Oh, okay.
So that yellow rope there on the tree, we're still figuring out the controls here. The yellow rope on the tree means that you can like climb it and you can scale up that. The yellow is kind of an indicator that that's a climbable object.
Ah.
Here's another one I want to point out real quick. Something I was really praising the guys at Gorilla, Herman and all the guys were there. Look at the facial animations.
Yeah, it's
Some
gorgeous.
of the best facial animation tech I've ever seen. And I actually didn't realize they put so much work into it.
Yeah, it's astounding. I talked to the gang at Gorilla a little bit, kind of just about the visual fidelity. And one of the things I didn't think about when I was considering this, because I look at Horizon, and I'm just like, oh, it's Gorilla. Like, of course this is going to be an incredibly looking game.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that this is on a scale that's kind of unlike anything they've done before, right?
Oh, absolutely.
To produce the incredible kind of visual quality of Killzone, you're making kind of a relatively linear shooter. Here, you're completely open. So
What is this?
now we're jumping over to my footage for somewhat of a different tactic to approach combat scenarios. So we're using Aloy's focus here. And so that allows you to scan and tag enemies. You can see that there's a little kind of on-screen indicator over where that enemy is. And there's some yellow highlights there. So the yellow highlights are vulnerabilities. And let's see, do I go back up there?
This is already so different.
So you can see the
from way
blaze
Sid
canister
just-
is a weakness, right? Perhaps this is like the personality test of Sid and I. So what do you think happens if I shoot the blaze canisters with my fire arrows?
I have no idea. That is satisfying.
So
Did
you keep getting these little point values. Are those like experience points or something
Damage
like that?
points?
Damage.
So those was damage popping off them, but on the side of the screen, yes, those are experience points that you
Well,
get.
because like I saw a thing popped up that said like canister explosion kill or something like that, and it said plus 50. So
Oh, you do get more experience. You're right.
Yes.
There's like little
Oh, okay,
events.
okay.
So if you kill by fire, if you kill by defeat, I guess I should say it is a teen-rated game. You're not, and they are robots. They're not really alive, I guess, in the traditional sense.
Right.
But they machines. They you sort of like if you use unusual methods to take them out, you kind of get rewarded for
Cool.
that.
And you'll see that here too. So you'll see that this enemy is kind of alerted, and I've used my lure ability, kind of like a whistle to hide in the grass.
what's over there?
And
What was that noise?
come to me.
Kablammo,
There you go. So see
kaboom.
plus 25 stealth kill.
Get 'em.
For hiding in the grass. So there's a stealth meter. You see that little eyeball at the top of the screen. So that kind of tells you the amount of noise you're making, kind of how visible you are. And Sid, I don't know if you know this, there is a crouch button in this game.
I did hear that. I did use it, but
That focus effect looks so cool. By
It's
the way.
really fun, especially when you're kind of like stumbling across new enemies, or if you're trying to track a herd. Because as you saw, like I just had too much fun blowing these guys
yeah,
up.
Here
so
we go.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, double
No, and
kill.
it started the other one on fire.
Oh, are they
going
gonna go up too?
Oh,
There you go. So
So
the-
no, we're getting away. Oh no, not
Well,
fast enough.
did I get it?
No, those are like herbivorous type machines.
Yeah, that's the technical term.
They're not necessarily. They're not like the most fearsome machines. They're kind of more akin to a deer.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness! Hello.
You got to keep your head on a swivel in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Let's
So
look at the loot here, by the way. Those metal shards are a form of currency. Use them also to craft arrows. The arrows, the bow and arrow mechanics in this game, second to none. But there's a lot of loot and a lot of crafting and a lot of things you can buy and sell. I really liked all that.
Absolutely. Kind of going into, there you go, trophy earned.
Nice job.
Thanks, Sid. Kind of going along with the conversation.
Oh, this is me.
Options.
This has to be me, right?
I think this is me, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think we're staying with me. Going with along with the conversation options are a ton of kind of the RPG staples that you would imagine. Tons of loot, tons of components. Gathering here, you're kind of picking up materials that you can craft arrows with, or little health pouches.
Are these the items that we see on the D-pad on the bottom left there?
Some of them.
See like a health potion, it looks like.
Yeah, so you can craft those.
Interesting health mechanic worth pointing out. You have this medicine pouch. You gather these sort of life-giving herbs and spices, all that kind of thing, and they go into that green meter that's on the upper left-hand corner of your HUD. Under the red one, the red's your actual life meter, the green meter's your medicine pouch. So as you sort of find these famous herbs and spices and drop them in there, you can use that to you press up on the D-pad to actually heal during a match.
So it looks like Aloy just hacked this machine and is now riding it around. Is that what? Am I correct?
That is correct.
You are correct. And then you can see that you can then summon them kind of once you. Oops.
It's a bucking bronco.
Yeah, and there are attacks that you can do while you're on there, both forwards and backwards.
But this guy's going berserk right now.
Yeah, it's a little wild. I'm sorry, buddy.
Are there a lot of different types of machines that you can mount and ride around?
In terms of, I only know of this one, the Grazer, or Strider actually, I think it's called Strider.
Yeah. But there are others.
There are tons of machines.
Let's take a look into some of the menus here. So obviously you have a bunch of different weapons types, and then they have modification slots. You can get different weapons.
That's a good looking UI, too.
Oh, yeah, it's slick.
Yep.
I want this game.
Now, I want to point out this game.
Oh, photo mode. I saw photo
Yeah,
mode.
there's
a photo mode. There's also custom UI
I like that a lot. I recommend the dynamic option.
Yeah.
I did want to point out, we are playing this on the standard PS4. It is a mighty fine-looking game, but this game is a centerpiece for PS4 Pro, and we did get a quick peek at the latest near-final version of the game running on a luxurious 75-inch Sony 4K TV, and it looks, it's wild what that game looks like in 4K.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, obviously 1080 standard PS4 standard footage is also just mind-blowing, right?
It looks great.
I really don't know what kind of magic they're playing with over there in Amsterdam.
Guerrilla, known for their technical prowess, known for lots of things, but there's no question that is a particular unique strength of theirs, and they're showing it all off here. Also noticed, reasonably snappy load times, just a great overall experience from the technical perspective.
Well, and I would actually say no load times. Now, if you're fast traveling, there will be a load. If you die, then there is a load. But
it's seamless between areas.
Seamless running across the world.
That's correct.
Going in and out of dungeons or ruins, no load times.
I should have clarified that. It was when I fast traveled, but it wasn't that bad.
I want to call this out too. Sometimes the fear with an open world game is that you're going to get like big areas that are completely flat and kind of just like open. Whereas here it looks like you got a very rich tapestry of different elevations, different cover types, different like traversal methods. I mean, it seems like it's very robusto.
Very colorful too. There's a whole lot going on. Very dense foliage.
Yeah.
And all that.
Density, I think, is kind of one of the key things for me. This is not a game where you're just sort of running across open plains for hours on end. I mean, there's a lot going on. And here we get a look at the skill tree as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess there's kind of three main groups that they've organized them in, but you can, invest in whichever ones you want. I tended to go for more of the prowler abilities that would let you just kind of like hide in the grass and then take people down or take machines down with one shot.
I can guess which tree Sid went down.
Yeah. Sid very brave.
I went all in on forager.
Oh, really?
I wanted all those herbs and spices in my little pouch.
Yeah, the non-lethal playthrough.
That's right.
I'm just going to cook and make potions.
I mean, I really love the brave skill tree. You see these double shot, triple shot. You can make it so you fire like multiple arrows per shot, and that just I never quite got there. Oh, here, this is good too. This is a merchant. Let's touch on this a little bit. Or no, this is just my equipment that I've got. This is my.
No, this is your merchant. You're buying and selling various goods here.
Yeah. So different armor with different sort of I just didn't expect any of this in this game, to be totally
honest. And it all
honest
looks
with
completely different.
Yeah. No, it's great.
So it's not just like you're not just buying stat upgrades.
Right.
You're buying like completely new sets of armor that change the way Aloy looks too.
And plays. Some of these are highly stealth centric. Others are all about sort of damage output, things like that. You can You can slot upgrade items into them to kind of further boost them. You know, here we're looking at some of the crafting components. You know, these are just sort of items you use to create things. Like you'll want those metal vessels if you want to create more of the bombs for the slingshot. You got a bunch of different types of ammo, shock arrows, all kinds of good stuff.
And of course, you can craft kind of larger packs and larger quivers to carry more of particular types of items. I definitely hit a point when I was playing yesterday where I'm just like, now if I just explore this area a little bit, then I can start to build out my character in this way.
And then it was like, Zach, we only have a half an hour.
Yeah,
Until
we have to catch a flight right now.
I feel a little bit of Far Cry 3 in here.
Little bit,
like
little
the
bit, yeah,
crafting and stuff. And that game, I just became hopelessly addicted to.
You're spot on. Like you can upgrade your sort of your weapon bandolier, if you will, sort of the pouch that you hold your arrows in by hunting for animals and getting their fatty meat or their rich meat or their bony meat, different types of meat, and you use them to do different things
with that water.
The dynamic weather system in this game is really astounding. So I think we're going to take a couple different kind of looks at some of the weather you encounter here, but it really, you know, obviously we have a couple different types of rain, but depending on what part of the world you're in, it really can take on a really different feel. Here, this is just wind, and you kind of see how Aloy is reacting to it.
Doesn't that look awesome?
It's unbelievable.
It's a really, really gorgeous game.
I want this game.
What purpose do the campfires serve?
Oh my gosh! Wait, hold on. Don't talk about campfires yet.
Yeah,
let's all enjoy the giant robot machine.
The campfires just briefly are a way to save, quick save, load. They're also waypoints you can sort of fast travel to.
Cool.
Now this is a long neck, and this I did not
tall neck, I believe. Right?
Tall neck. Sorry, yeah, I'm thinking Land Before Time.
As usual.
I just crossed wires there. But okay, so the tall neck, this thing, I didn't know what it would do. All I knew was that it looked really cool, and then I learned that by clambering on top of this monstrosity, it's totally harmless.
Don't call it a monstrosity. That's
beautiful.
rude.
I meant it from the size perspective. You know, this elegant
colossal, maybe.
This colossus. By getting on top of this colossus, you can sort of take it over. You can hack it, kind of the way you did for that other creature, and it basically opens up some of the fog of war, if you may, that covers the map. So it's sort of like a recon item in a way, but it's a bit of a challenge to get on top of this thing. You can see me scurrying all about here, trying to get on top of a building just as it passes by. But such a cool looking creature, and so distinctive, I think, to the game. Just again,
it has a really iconic look.
It does.
One that already is echoed in a lot of the trailers and screenshots that we've seen for Horizon so far. You were like,
we go.
Could this be it? Could this be your?
What if it just like turns around?
Turns around and vomits fire on me. No, these things are totally harmless from what I've seen. They're not to be killed. They're meant to be
herbivores.
Meant to be pacified.
Now to climb up to its
I don't know I don't know what they eat, these machines. I haven't seen that so far.
Let's give another let's give another shout out to the character animators on this game. Aloy's jumping animations and hanging animations are ridiculous.
Look, she's making even me look like I know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I look elegant and composed.
I love how she even she's kind of
trying to
swerving
center her
around,
balance.
trying to stay.
This is unreal.
Isn't this crazy though? I mean,
gosh.
Clearly, I feel like objectively one of the best looking PS4 games out there.
Oh,
clearly.
there's no question.
And wait till you see it on Pro. I'm telling you, it'll melt your face.
Generally said, I do take some issue with your use of objective. Not here. Not here, sir.
Wow. Oh, and there you
Look
go.
at that.
There you go.
Get a little close encounters of the third kind going on here. Look at that.
Rappel down. Rappel down.
And get ready for an awesome animation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Now, did you? Okay, good. I was about to say, did you kill it? Oh, good.
No,
It's
he's
still
safe
walking.
and safe and secure.
All right, good.
He's a buddy now.
Just playing for the good guys now.
That's right.
So now on the map, you'll see kind of there's different kind of herds that have been revealed and different kind of other spots of interest in this region.
Yes.
And speaking of the open world, worth noting that kind of once you finish the first few quests, it's not really a gated open world, and so you can really stumble into some let's call them pickles situations. Here's one where I got a little too big for my britches. So use my focus there to scan and tag this enemy, and you can see you can also track their kind of patrol routes. So these are corrupted enemies.
Oh,
and
yeah, these are tough.
These are even more fierce than the regular enemies. So I thought I could maybe try and pick them off one by one. Let's see how that works out for me.
I cannot wait to see. I'm going to say that it works out perfectly.
No, these corrupted enemies, they factor into the storyline. Oh, nice use of the tripwire there.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. Now I
The
can
stun. Oh,
finish him off.
Yeah, you have a very different play style than I do. I would have been flailing at him and going on.
Worked
That
well.
You're getting into a very,
Here's the flailing.
You're getting into a tight situation here.
This isn't
Oh,
good.
oh.
No, Aloy, no.
So those corrupted machines, as
She's
part of the
sleeping.
it's part of
So here's your take on the corrupted machines, by the way.
Okay, yeah, this was a fearsome one too. The corrupted machines factor into the storyline, and there's basically some sort of mysterious corruption, for lack of a better term, that is making these machines that sort of live in a certain degree of harmony with the surviving humans, making them act unusual. And so actually it was very interesting, again, sort of the world that Guerrilla's built here, going back to town when these corrupted creatures are running about some of these zones. The tribal members were very upset. They were very upset by the fact that these machines seem to be taken over by some sort of hostile force. So we don't really know much about what's causing it, but clearly a significant element of the storyline. Curious to see where it goes.
Right, and so these enemies kind of, I think as you mentioned, Sid, these ones are usually not hostile.
Right.
But because they have this corruption, obviously they want to take you out.
And some of them act differently. The Watchers, you can see I just healed out of my medicine bag there. The Watcher, yeah, this was maybe not the most wise thing to do. Oh my god. The Watchers, some of them act quite differently too, like, or have different attacks. So it's kind of like a different enemy in some ways.
Sid, I like how at the beginning of this fight you had a clear plan for that first enemy
And
with
then
the
I just-
tripwire, and then the two others walk around the rock, and you're like, I don't know, I only thought about the first one.
So is this a situation where you would say, okay, well, these guys are too strong for me. Let me go level up some more, unlock some more skills, or do you
Exactly.
Is there a traditional level up system, or is it purely unlocking skills? And
There is,
skill tree?
absolutely leveling. Oh yeah,
yeah?
100%, and that is a factor. I did go back to that area and take him out right after we saw it, but I do want to point this out.
Yeah, take us
Sure you
home
did.
here, Sid.
This is the Sawtooth, and it actually looks like a smaller one. There's a much bigger one I fought earlier that took everything I had to take down. These guys are, and okay, this is a bandit. This is a totally emergent battle that's happening between a group of bandits. You can kind of vaguely see them through all the fire and debris here. They got into a fight with the Sawtooth, and I kind of stumbled upon it. So
these footage is almost up.
That's right. These fire arrows definitely took him out, but it was not easy.
So Sid, game looks great, and you can't wait, I believe.
Look at that. That's right. Looks incredible. Horizon Zero Dawn coming out February
28th?
That's right. February 28th. Exclusive to PS4, of course.
Absolutely. Sid, any final thoughts?
I did want to point out, I've mentioned, if you listen to PlayStation Blogcast, I'm not always the biggest fan, or it's not the easiest sell for me, an open world game. It's big time commitment. Sometimes it's just this game actually is like right up my alley though, and I think so much of it has to do with the universe is obviously awesome, but it's actually the combat mechanics. They're so crunchy. It's so satisfying. It isn't sort of like fluffy or floaty feeling. It's meaty. It's like substantial. If this was a just standard sort of third-person action game, I would totally play this game. But the fact that it's also got all this this giant universe around it, so this one really grabbed me more than even I expected.
Yeah, and it's amazing that obviously it comes from a studio whose heritage is in a completely different genre, and yet all those mechanics that we just showed off felt so natural and so rewarding.
100%. Yeah,
I mean, to mention that this game feels super inspired. It's really cool to see what Guerrilla can do when they can break out and try something new.
Absolutely, and I would just say, somebody who's worked here for a while and seen all the games we've put out, I think this is one of the more ambitious games I've seen PlayStation sort of work on with its internal worldwide studios. So kudos to Guerrilla Games, kudos to you, Zach, for very responsible and smart play style. And
it's its own reward.
That's right. Thanks everybody for listening. Horizon Zero Dawn out February 28th on PS4.